Scary Mommy, which Adrienne loves, is this site we all love. It talked about responsibility of taking care of your parents as they grow older. I mean, you know, you're used to your parents taking care of you, but at the end, the roles sometimes switch, and it can be tough thing to face. So I want to know what your thoughts are. It's interesting because when I read this article, I thought, which one out of my 3 boys would actually take care of me at the end of the day? I haven't figured it out yet. It depends. It depends. I think for sure
Tell us
Oliver,
how so.
because he's old enough. I think Oliver, because Oliver's older now and he's a dad, and you know, he's my firstborn, so we're really tight. I think Jade, because he's a mama's boy, he would sort of take care of me. I think Jax would hire somebody to take care of me.
I'm with Jack.
I have had this conversation with my mom. I've had this conversation, and she's literally been like, I don't want to be a burden to my children. Like, I would never want that. And me and my sister just look at her like she's crazy, because there's no way that she'd go anywhere other than either my home or my sister's home. We definitely would take care of her. And I know that maybe that's not an option for everyone, and I would never judge somebody else's situation. But for us, I don't know if that's cultural or that's just how I was raised, or just the simple fact that, like, I recognize the sacrifices that my mother made raising me, and it's the least I think I could do to return the favor. And is it a sacrifice? Absolutely. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But for us as a family, that's the decision that we've chosen for both of our parents.
I think you have an obligation to make sure that your parents are okay. And what I mean by that is, you know, you want to make sure that they're not neglected, that they're okay. There are a lot of great nursing homes. There are a lot of great nurses. There's a way to have them at the house, things like that. I think that I think you shouldn't be shamed, or you shouldn't feel bad. Like, for me, I'm a single woman. So my life, I would need some help anyway to help my mother. So we've had this talk, we've had this discussion. You know, it would have to be a nurse to help her anyway, because it's like basically I would be the only person. And
and if they need medical help, a nurse is necessary, you know, to be helpful. But I also think it's important to not take away their independence.
Yeah.
And to also not take away their independence before.
Well, I had to think about it for myself, because I'm getting older and I have no children. So I have to figure out, you know, what's going to happen in my golden years.
Well, what are you thinking?
I'm looking for homes. I'm looking for really nice homes. Seriously, you know, be responsible. And don't be a burden on people. And they're really nice homes that you can live your life out, and, you know, or senior citizen living facilities and stuff. Plan it now, so that, you know, when it happens, you'll be okay. You know, be ready so you don't have to get ready. Tell you that.
Wow.
I actually never thought of that. I think we always think that it should be put on someone else. Yeah, I always thought that it should be like, you always think like, oh, my children will take care of me, or someone in my family will make that decision. But I've never considered planning it for yourself. I actually think that is very smart.
That's amazing
but again,
that you did that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I couldn't
really
do that
amazing.
for my mom just because I'm a weirdo like that. I'd want to like, I feel like she bathed me as a baby. I could bathe her as a grown woman. I know it sounds weird, but I'm like very close and attached to my mom in that way, so I just would want to do that for her. If she needed medical assistance, again, I'm also thinking of people that maybe don't have, and this is just the reality of it, because we keep it real on the real. Maybe I can afford something that the average person can't afford. You know, like if you're like, oh, I want to have them in my home with a private nurse, like that's not realistic for everyone. So I think, look into it and have the conversation.
Yeah, but you're like you said, it's cultural. I know for me, my mom used to say, I had you kids so you guys can take care of me. And at the end, the end of her life, you know, we did take care of her. My sisters did more because they were closer to her. But I feel like it's our responsibility, like you said, Lonnie. And I have a girlfriend, her mom passed away, and she now takes care of her stepdad. And I thought, that's pretty amazing that even though that wasn't her truly biological father, but she takes care of him after her mom passed. So that's commendable. And Lonnie, hats off to you for doing that. That's amazing that you're thinking ahead and not wanting to be a burden on anyone.
Exactly. That's right. And you know, we took care of my grandmother till she passed at 99. And so
Wow.
I think that there was a time when that's just what we felt. So I understand that sense of family. You know, we just had her in the room. We took shifts and we took care of her. And I think that's why I think the way I think now, because I saw that and I said, okay, I need to plan for my future. But if you got a family and you guys can plan it, that's great too.
That's
okay? But plan something.